Hello and welcome. I'm Baronen, and this is my journey from art noob to being able to draw anything, and trying to teach you a little bit about anatomy along the way. This week I've practiced shading, to draw light and shadow on an object to make it look three-dimensional. It can be done in a lot of different ways, but to make it as simple as possible, I chose to do an exercise where I first shade with just 2 tones, then with 5 tones, without blending, and then using 5 tones and blending. I chose to do it this way because I wanted to focus on understanding where to place the different tones without having to think about too much else. To practice shading, I first needed something to shade. So I constructed and drew the outline of the front and back of both radius and ulna, the 2 bones in the forearm, and then drew them together to show how they fit. Beginning with the ulna, I filled it in with a lighter tone to then paint on the shadows. The goal was to make it look like the light was coming from the top left, because this is how it looks on my reference. Although my reference is not the best for learning about shading, because it is quite unclear when something is shaded and when it's just textured. I tried to paint the shadows as larger areas where it would be facing away from the light. I'm not entirely happy with how it turned out, but some parts look pretty good. I think I might have used a shadow tone that was too dark, because when I made it a bit lighter, I thought it looked better. On to the next one. This time I had more values to use. I had the same base tone and the same dark tone for the darkest shadows. Then I got 2 tones in between and 1 lighter tone to highlight with. Having more tones somehow made it easier. I could place the darkest value in the places that would point away from the light the most, and then gradually make it lighter the more it would point towards the light. And I am pretty happy with how it turned out. Now the last one. This is the one I enjoyed the most. It took the most time, but I definitely think it also looks the best. I began with the same method I used for the second one, but I didn't look as much at my reference and went more with my intuition. And I am pretty happy with the placement of the shadows. When I was done with blocking in the values, it was time to blend. This was what I enjoyed the most out of this whole exercise. It was very relaxing to use the smudge tool to make the hard lines disappear. In this exercise I have understood the difficulty in using only 2 tones. I found something new that I really enjoyed in blending, and I think I've become better at placing shadows, although I need to train a lot more to become really good at it. If you also want to get better at shading, try this exercise and see if you make any improvements. Now let's talk a little bit about the parts of the ulna and radius. Number 1. Incisura trochlearis. This is the part where the trochlea of the humerus connects and creates a part of the elbow joint. Number 2. Incisura radialis. This is where radius connects to ulna and creates a second part of the elbow joint. Number 3. Olecranon. This is the part that probably most people think about when they think about the elbow. It's the hard and pointy part that you can't lick. Number 4. Caput ulna is the head of ulna, which is a little bit weird since it is at the bottom, but that's how it is. Number 5. Circumferentia articularis ulna is the second place where the ulna and radius connects. Number 6. Processus styloideus ulna is a small process that both ulna and radius has. Number 7. Circumferentia articularis radii. This is the part that fits into incisura radialis on ulna. Number 8. Fovea capitis radii is where the capitulum of the humerus connects and creates the third and final part of the elbow joint. And here you can see how the humerus would fit and the 3 parts of the elbow joint. Number 9. Caput radii is the head of radius, this time at the right place. Number 10. Tuberositas radii. This is where the biceps insert, and that is why the bicep is able to supinate the forearm, which means turn it this way. Number 11. Incisura ulnaris radii is where the ulna fits to make the distal connection between the 2 bones. Number 12. Facies articularis carpalis is the joint surface that connects to the root of the hand. Number 13. Processus styloideus radii is the last part and is also a small process. And those are some of the more interesting parts of the ulna and radius. Hope you learned something. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed. If you want to support me and this channel, go ahead and like and subscribe. And until next time, keep drawing.